All right, say you are quoting the 1 to 10. All right, so you'd say to yourself, there's a plus degree that you need on the 10th degree. Well, Buddha is a plus degree for Buddha, is a plus degree for Wycliffe. All right, Christianity 551 years ago, Buddha 335,000 years ago. You find out, why did Elijah say that? Because of the plus degree he had from W.D. Farrar to explain Buddha and explain 551 years ago. That's going to take you into Wycliffe and all that. All right. Showing and proving it, it's going to be English. Dealing with Britain, them. All right. That's a fact. All right. So that's for the wilderness of North America. But if you expand your teaching and you say, okay, what about the Roman Catholic? That's South America. You see what I'm saying? South American, Caribbean, the Roman Catholics, the Italians and the Spaniards went there. Conquistador. The conquistadors was Catholic. So that's what they came to civilize the indigenous inhabitants of the Western Hemisphere. They said they came to civilize them and give them Christianity. That's what they always say. And as if they weren't civilized. And as if they didn't have their own religion. But back then they didn't have as much tolerance as they have for religion as they do now, where they say everybody could have any religion they want. Back then it was like, you're either a Christian or we gonna kill you. That's how it went down. So that's how that went down. But anyway, say you're in the 1 to 10. Now you saying, all right, I'm in the 1 to 10. I went through Buddhism. I went through Wycliffe, all the different plus degrees on Who is the Original Man. I went through those, and now you want to go into some books, right? Because after books, you're going to have to go to the sites. All right, so now you go to the actual excavation sites, the anthropological sites, the monuments. That's what you're doing. And you go and you do the knowledge to them, your what? Self. All right, that's right. Then you don't need no one. See, I just gave you the plan. Even if you don't have a set of 120 and you're at the book part, when you're just reading books, once you read those books that have all these different philosophies and theologies, and most of the time when it's black people, we reading about the history of what our ancestors did or did not do and what they left behind, because that's a lot of the stuff you got to hide from you. So even if you're a Christian, you be doing that. If you're conscious, you want to know what your ancestors did. But once you get to that point and you read those books like Black Man of the Nile and His Family by Dr. Ben, The Valley of Dry Bones by Windsor, Golden Series, Rudolph R. Windsor, illustrated by L. Hagan. So you might say, oh, I read those, and then you say, I'd like to read Tupac Shakur's Legacy. I say, get that we be dropping some high science in there. You know, that's the stuff that you could read now that we didn't have back then. You know, Malcolm X, Make It Plain, text by William Strickland. That's a good one. This is basically for the 1 to 10. There's other books for other stuff, but I'm lumping together the 1 to 10 to give you an idea on where you should be going. Like another good book, I say get your hands on if you're in the 1 to 10 is Black's Law Dictionary. You feel me? Get your hands on that. Get a Black's Law Dictionary if you want to, really take yourself to the next level. For those people that their family was into the Bible a lot, you might want to go get you a Jerusalem Bible, a Bible Concordance, a Bible Dictionary, and a Metaphysical Dictionary. You would also want to get the Dead Sea Scrolls. That would be another good one. Gospel of Barnabas, that would be a good book for you to get also. See, it depends on, that's how the father taught. He wasn't so stringent. He based it on who they were and what they went through as an individual. That's how he was able to The nine born, if you talk to all of the different nine born, all of them got different stuff and different ways of how the Father born them. You feel me? He didn't make it no pattern. He born you based on who you are. So that's why it works that way. That's how that's the things that we're not rigid like not to point people out, but the Muslims, when they had this, it was a different time and era, and it was a more rigid teaching that way. First of all, they were adults and they had already lived their lives. They had already been converted over to that side. Elijah had to come and wake up people. They were grown-ass people over 25. So it was a different era and time, but he did what he did and he cleaned them up. He was cleaning people up, man. He was taking drug addicts in the whole 9 yards and not taking them through no drug rehabilitation, dealing with fasting, navy beans. People don't know how powerful navy beans are. You know, navy beans, real rice. You feel me? They was cooking it. They didn't cook in 10 minutes. That's not real rice. That's some Monsanto shit. You feel me? So these things change the physical composition, but this is what 120 tells you. So when people be telling me, "Oh, I'm high powered now because I'm studying this, and you know I elevated to this," it sounds crazy to me, because the first time I ever was realized other things that was of higher nature, 120 said, "Oh yeah, you need to drag that over here and do the knowledge of that. You know, cut and paste that. Bring that into your accumulated facts." Because that's why I say whatever you are, that's going to be your foundation. That's going to be your anchor that you put on the bottom of the ocean so your ship doesn't move. And that way you can do the knowledge of the stars in one spot. You can see what's going on. That's basically, you know, you're looking at those pictures because they're pictures. They happened millions and billions and trillions of years ago. What you seeing is a trillion years old, billion years old, million years old, something like that. You feel me? So it's not there anymore. So it's a picture. So you're looking at a picture. It's just like you look at those ancient monuments and you say those are pictures. Like say you in the 1 to 10. When Time Began is a very good book by Zecharia Sitchin. You feel me? What's another good one? This is like really the first degree in the 1 to 10 can take you everywhere because it's telling you about the original man. So with just that degree alone, I would say read The Greatest Story Never Told, a scientific inquiry into the evidence of the fall of man from a higher civilization in antiquity. Right? Yes, a scientific inquiry into the evidence of the fall of man from a higher civilization in antiquity. That's by Lena Cantrell, my girl. She put in work. This is some new shit that just came out by a very good book. Dirty Little Secrets by Claude Anderson. I'm telling you, son, do the knowledge to that. Mostly all of Zecharia Sitchin's books, depending on what lesson you're dealing with, are good. But I'm just saying for the 1 to 10, I don't try to like overwhelm them, but what I'm doing is putting you in the path. Then if you like that book, you get other books from those particular authors. Like if I say J.A. Rogers in the 1 to 10, get all of J.A. Rogers' books. All of his books will give you a firm foundation to understanding the 1 to 10. Especially those plus degrees that go with the 1 to 10 that take you way out there. You know what I'm saying? Them degrees take you into infinity. So you need something to anchor you down in, like something like Nature Knows No Color Line. That'll show you the DNA, RNA, genetics, cross-referencing with amalgamation, miscegenation, and then you take that into procreation. All right. So that's still dealing with the Wisdom Build Destroy degree in 140. See, that's what I'm saying. When they saying, dog, trust me, I can show you That shit is already in 120. It's just they didn't see it that way, and they went somewhere else and found it, and they don't know 120. Ben told them to study that. So, yo, you need to study that. So when they find these new things that they think ain't in 120, then they become that. That's what the God meant when he said, niggas don't need to be reading no books, because then they become that book. People, and then other unconscious people and conscious people thought he was saying don't read books. And he's like, and they saying, look at this fool. That shows you they was a fool, because they didn't understand what he was saying. What he was saying was, if you don't have an anchor and a foundation and a place to draw your mathematics from, if all your fucking shit is going all over the place, anybody can snatch you up. Because you could get converted because you think that shit is, oh, that's the high shit, so you go there. Oh, I didn't know it was here. Feeling you think you didn't hit the motherfucking pay dirt. When all along you already had it. The books are what people need to read, but the lessons guide you to the books, to which ones to read. Because what if you out there reading books and then you run up on a person like David Icke and he dropped the children? The matrix on you, and then you join that organization because now you was like, damn, I didn't know it was high power like that. Now you in that, instead of drawing the light and the science and the knowledge from that, but keeping your foundation intact. Now the only foundation I don't think you should keep intact is if that shit is European based. You know, so I did extensive research and put it on my Facebook channel, my Facebook wall. So much shit going on. You got spaces, walls, channels. I mean, what the hell? Anyway, it's on the account, the Facebook account, right? And on that, I did the research on each type of Christianity or each type of Christian organization. Because you got Protestant movement, for instance, is started by Martin Luther, the German. Okay? The Lawlers, which is more of the afterbirth of the Protestant movement by the time it got all the way to England. So that's 551 years ago. That's the Lawlers and all of them. So their ideology is different than, say, Eastern Orthodox. But they're all Christians. All right, so like that. Like, what's your foundation? That's what you'll pretty much know. Well, you make the choice on whether you want to stay with it or not, but I just be saying, what is your foundation? Is your foundation, after you did the knowledge of all these books, are you trying to get back to what your ancestors taught and learned and did? Or are you wanting to stay with the colonizer? That's your choice. You can stay with the colonizer if you want to. I just choose not to. So, but what happens is the people who want to stay with the colonizer, they get mad at the people who don't want to stay with the colonizer. And that's when people start not liking each other. Because that shit happened to me before. Right? It was Wisdom Myself Divine Cipher Master. I used to work for her. But from day one, she was tripping, but nothing like it was when she figured out I was 5% for real. And it's not so much that they look at the organization called 5%, but if you really got these lessons down back, tight, and your shit is not looking at the European as God, but as the black man as God, man, listen, they be pissed the fuck off. So they ain't gonna like you no more. They're gonna do things to get at you if they that kind of a person. It is what the fuck it is. So that's the type of shit you gonna be going up against sometime. You know, but it ain't no big shit. So anyway, we go into the next level. We're gonna look at some other material that would be beneficial to a 1 to 10. And then you could throw the 1 to 36, because the 1 to 36 English lesson, it fits right in the 1 to 10, because you got 379 years ago. You need that part. The other part is like the ancient things like Black Man and Now and His Family. That's teaching you ancient history of what we did as ancient people. But when you gotta know, knowing that we was pyramid builders ain't telling you how we lost that science. You feel me? So you go and you start looking, you say, well, how come we did that but we can't do it now? And then you find out by doing the research and reading the proper material. It explains it to you what took place. You know, you were stripped of everything by the European. He went throughout the planet Earth and did this to almost every culture he could get his hands on. He stripped them all of something, if not everything. But us, we caught the raw deal. Like, if you go to China, people in China got affected by Britain very much so. And the Chinese people got affected by the Japanese people very much so. My tree in Wing Chun traces back to Yip Man. If you do the history on Yip Man, you see where the Japanese and the Chinese had that war. And then you also see how the Mongolians and the Chinese, with skirmishes and wars and royal family movements they went through. All right, so you see this, but when you come to the original man, you say, damn, the original man in the wilderness of North America, they took everything from him. Every fucking thing. Your culture, your creed, your religion, your family structure, your name, your language, the way you act, the genetic breeding that they did, the whole nine yards. You have no idea what was done in those 379 years. But you figure if they was doing shit like the Tuskegee thing, and it was way after slavery, what the fuck was they doing then? You feel me? Damn that they didn't have the science that they have now and those kind of experiments. So when they didn't have those experiments to fucking play with, they played with you in horrific ways. So all you got to do is look it up. He kept it in books and records. Those books and records, you could go down to any good medical school that's old, from back in the days in slavery, and go look at those papers and see what the fuck happened, son. If you don't understand why you a Christian, why you got a slave name, why you killing yourself. Like, why black men, when they see other black men, they don't really know you. They looking at you like you fucking crazy, son. Like, everything is posturing. We used to posture all the time. That's in our nature, the posturing part. The three sides of man. You got the ones who talk loud and do what they say. You got the ones who talk loud but they don't do shit. And then you got the ones who don't talk shit and they do shit. Pardon me for. They don't say nothing but they do a lot. And then you got the ones that don't do nothing and don't say shit neither. Alright, so you got the four sides of man. Those sides already were there, but once you got under the rulership of the devil, and every time your leaders would come together to galvanize you and take you to another level, not just economically, but socially, politically, religiously, you know, not just in the United States, but through the world, he would kill those leaders. You have to face these facts. He would kill those leaders to fuck you up. What do you think he killed them for? To help you? Get the fuck out of here. And then he put mad drugs and guns and anything he could think of crazy in the community. Oh yeah, you could say, well, we don't have to do it. We don't. You're right. We don't have to do it. But the conditioning is already there to do it. That's what he does. He conditioned you so that when he puts certain things in front of you, it's psychology 101, son. I condition you first, and then I place things in front of you, and you're going to react to those things based on the conditioning. I could pretty much foretell what you're going to do when I do this, if I have that kind of control over the environment. And you got to admit, any motherfucking black person that say that the white man ain't running the United States, well, who's running it? The black man is running it? What the fuck are you talking about? Who's fucking running it? Yeah, I know that. Okay, so we all know that. We can go deepest down south and they'll say that cracker. Because they know who's fucking running shit and who's really in their psychology. Even if they go to White Jesus Church, in their psychic, they're saying when they see a white person, they think different when they see him, especially if he's in a police uniform or something. You black, white Jesus, the whole 9 yards. When you see that white officer, police officer, stopping your car, in your brain, your subconscious self says, oh shit, this nigga might shoot me. Oh, I don't know what the fuck. He might arrest me. He might fuck with. This motherfucker might come do anything. You have no idea. White people do not have that thought in their mind when the white man stops them. They think he's there to protect and serve. They see him that way. You see him as protecting and serving? Yeah, right. Only time you think about that nigga might be protecting you a little bit if niggas is trying to shoot at you. But if you from the hood, son, I'm from the fucking hood. I don't remember them niggas coming and preventing niggas from getting shot. This is what I remember. I remember niggas getting into beef. And they know, they can hear, they know what's going on. They not far. They gotta know they watching every fucking thing. And they don't do shit till after the shit is over. If you kill him, then they come and arrest you. But they don't deal with preventive medicine. They don't be really trying. When them niggas be standing on corner and frisking and stopping, that ain't preventive medicine. They trying to bag niggas up because they need a big giant quota to go into the prison system, because the prison system is fucking 65% private, and those niggas need fucking bodies. They not like the government. They don't self-sufficient it that way. They need people to come in. That's like a job. That's your job, nigga. You get paid a quarter or whatever the fuck, an hour, you know, they got more control and they can make you really do whatever the fuck they want. Plus your entertainment, bunch of gladiators, high protein diet, niggas is fighting, they setting all of that shit up, and they betting and all kind of shit in the background. Y'all niggas don't even know what's going on. When niggas be saying, like, I put out a couple videos asking about that war that the Mexicans are having with the black people. And I'm saying they're having it with us because they drew first blood. We didn't start attacking them. They attacked us. But they don't understand that the Aryans and all of them set that up with the so-called brown and the Mexican groups. And I say the Mexican groups, and that's lumping them all in because it's too many different kinds. It's going all the way in South America on the West Coast side of South America. There's a lot of them. That group of South Americans, they look like them. That group, they're pitting them against the African Americans. That's what they're doing. So, and it worked. They did it and it worked. And that's through conditioning. They conditioned them down there. The Spaniards conditioned them to be the way they are. They did that to them. And then all I got to do is make a certain move, and then I know I could get this outcome. And that's what the fuck happened. I could go all into what they did, but I'll save that for another build, because I already made 2 videos and I asked the question. Nobody could really answer me, like, what the fuck went down? Why is that? I asked, is there some kind of war going on and I don't know about it? I know about it. I knew about it. But I wanted to pose the question to see if we could come up with an answer as a group, collective group. But, you know, people always saying it shouldn't be done, and they know why. Maybe they'll say, well, this person is this and that and this third. But, you know, I'm giving them the whole big picture. That's like fewer people in between. They might have knowledge and they know what the conquistadors did and what the Spaniard Armada did versus what the English Britain did, the redcoats and all them motherfuckers, what they did, and the Portuguese and all, and we can get all deep into it. But anyway, some people know and some people don't, but the majority of us don't know what took place, and so we become a victim of circumstance. So whatever they present in front of us, we deal with it. When they put the crack in front of us, some motherfuckers smoked it, some niggas sold it. It just fucking went down like that. Some niggas smoked it and sold it, but they still go with the smokers. It is what it is. You smoking to get your habit on or whatever the fuck you doing. But niggas who was just selling it and didn't smoke it was the dealers. They not consumers. They come up. They mostly the people who don't have addictive personalities. It's hard to make them get addicted to things. They don't really like shit anyway. They don't like things like that. It's in their personality. They just don't like it. It doesn't do anything for them. But more people, it hits their endorphins and shit, and it makes them, they like it. They like that euphoric feel. But that euphoric feel that he's giving you is an artificial euphoric feel. You could get the same thing with certain plants and shit, and it won't give you that fucked up ass sideline shit that comes with it. I forget what they call it, but you become addicted to it. It attaches itself to the protein cells in your body, and you crave it. If you want to go down to Wisdom Builder, the Short Degree, and the 140. See, I just keep going back there because I hear motherfuckers talking about, nah, that shit ain't right and exact. I don't know if you know what the fuck you talking about or not, because I'm wondering if you took biology to say it's not right and exact. You don't know chemistry, you don't know biology, you don't know nothing about DNA and RNA. You couldn't know anything about miscegenation, amalgamation, and graftation. You can't. You don't know about breeding and fuck. I seen the motherfucker split a goddamn cell and put a lion and a tiger and make a liger. Now, go look that up. You telling me that shit ain't real? That shit is real as fuck. Get that plus degree on the Wisdom Builder Short Degree in 140. And when I got it, it was the 80s. So when I got it, I'm looking at this shit saying, this nigga wrote this shit in the fucking 30s. So if he wrote this shit in the 30s, they wasn't doing that then. They wasn't making no Liger in the fucking 30s. So it was a prediction of what was fucking going to take place. Please. There's too much information out there for somebody to say anything that the 120 says ain't real. So all of that shit is real. I got the motherfucking books, the degrees, and the excavated sites to prove it. You ain't, listen, if you in a place like New York, you don't even have to go to the excavated sites if you don't have money. Because you can always go to the Smithsonian and all the different museums that all the white people love to go to, and y'all never be in there. I be in there. I don't see y'all in there. Maybe the school children might come through, but that's about it. School, whatever school, if you in a school that does them kind of field trips, you got a good school, because most of these schools nowadays don't do no motherfucking field trips. Some of these teachers are real good and they really care about their students, and they're taking their broke ass self, because the system don't pay them shit, taking their broke ass self and taking their children on them school trips, they motherfucking self. They probably getting together with the parents and they all getting together and doing it, but that means that teacher is off the hook, and she really or he really, you know, is into what he does, and he's doing extra shit and finding ways to come up with the money to do it, because he ain't getting it from the schools. And that's for sure, especially if you're in the urban areas. They don't give a fuck, but they could be doing it. This government and this country generates so much money that they could fix the whole planet if they wanted. They really could, but they want to do it more like an empire, because now we're going to go into the 10% whatever, and we're going to be right back in the 140. You feel me? So all that Illuminati, how come niggas, you think niggas in the nation knew about Masonry? They knew about Masonry because 120 told them about it. Then they went and researched on it and wrote plus degrees and whatever, and people went in and got the science and came back out and all that kind of shit. But that's what the fuck happened. You feel me? I knew about Masonry before that. You know, before motherfuckers even in the 90s and the 80s, these new jack motherfuckers, they all of a sudden they in the laws and they think they somebody because they done bought the worshipful master position. And you don't know shit. I talk to them motherfuckers and they don't know a motherfucking thing. I'm telling you, you know who the niggas I know, that my real niggas that I could say really know they shit. And there's only 2 spots I know where niggas was really knowing this shit. Like there's certain black lodges that's under Harem and under King Solomon. They high-powered people. They officers and all them niggas. They know they shit. Them other motherfuckers, son, they don't know nothing. They don't know their lessons. They don't know their lessons. Now, some of the niggas go up into high, that's, you know, up there, they go into high esoteric teachings and the whole 9 yards. They meditate, everything. But most of the congregation, man, they just go and make that meeting once a month, take that break in the summer, and that's about it. Read a little degrees. I don't know what the fuck they read. They more in church than anything. That's another fact. So anyway, we gonna keep, here's an excellent book. Eldridge Cleaver. Gotta look at that, because that's like a 60s book. when I was saying that the way they took all our leaders and either killed them or imprisoned them. I mean, you could look at it right now and you could say, well, where's Mumia at? See what I'm saying? Where's Elbridge Cleaver at? Where's Huey P. Newton? Where's Medgar Evers? See, on either side, if they was the militant, as they dubbed us militant, we never came up with that name. We was dealing with freedom, justice, and equality. But they call you a militant and it's an excursion and all the derogatory names when you trying to get freedom from the European. When you trying to get from under his oppressed foot in your back, on your neck, on your damn head, wherever he got his foot at on you. Because he puts his foot on different people in different places. So, some people he put his foot in their ass in economically. Others he put them in the prison system. I mean, he does what the fuck he does. For whatever reason he's doing it, because he's basically wanting to control every fucking thing. But that's his goddamn way of doing things. But what I'm saying is, wherever that motherfucker's foot is at, you need to get that shit the fuck off of you. And you can't get it off if you still do it the way you've been doing it, which is bearing witness to his bullshit. You might say, I don't bear witness to that motherfucker. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Most of our people, gee, if you got white Jesus, you in his fucking pocket. You can say whatever the fuck you want. Take it down to the foundation. Where you at, motherfucker? What's your religion? Christianity. Who you got? White Jesus. Some of them might say, no, I got black Jesus. Yeah, but you reading King James Version of the Bible, you still really in his fucking world. You just changed the picture. That's all the fuck you did. You didn't change you, motherfucker. Why you think niggas like Ray Higgins is in the church trying to get y'all to wake the fuck up and get the hell up out of there? Because he know that shit is crazy, son. But he in there trying to help y'all best he can. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers like them, Valentine. And me and Valentine don't particularly vibe the same way. Because I know him from back in the days when we was all in Brooklyn. And that nigga used to have them little meetings in his house in Brownstone. And masterminds would come together, and he would bring masterminds together, and they would, hold lectures and talk or whatever the case may be, But I had got a bad vibe, not particularly from him, but people in his circle. Some of them niggas was tripping, son, like they was threatened by a motherfucker from the 5%. Maybe it's just the way we roll. I don't know what the fuck it was. We wasn't trying to take your stupid organization over, though. I just came in here really to do the knowledge. And the Moors would be going up in there. And so I knew Moors, I know major motherfucking Moors like Ralph Curtis Bay and Williams Eel and Sister Williams Eel and Sister Jefferson Bay, Sister Price Bay, Brother All Love Eel. I know, them kind of brothers and sisters will direct you towards high science. And they was like, yo, check them out. They got this meeting here. You might want to go here and do the knowledge to that. You get in the circle, you start meeting different people. So you start meeting different things, and they start taking you certain places. You know what I'm saying? That's when I started getting into federal civil judicial procedures and rules. You start doing the knowledge of that. But I know brothers that was in the penal institution that did the same thing. They went into that too. Trying to get the system to release them. And the prosecuting attorney and the judge and damn their lawyer is all against them. They have to learn that shit. Like say you in the 1 to 14, you want to get the book The Sword of the Prophet. Right? That book is a good book for that degree. Sword of the Prophet. Let me see who's the author here. It's Robert Goldstein. So he must be Jewish. Sounds Jewish to me. But the book is fire. Get that book. If you like into that. If you're into 114, you want to learn about Saladin. That they got plus degrees on Saladin, but you could do your own history on him. They got mad shit on him on in books and stuff. Like if you get that book called They Came Before Columbus, The African Presence in Ancient America by Ivan Van Sertima. That's an excellent book to realize that the European did not bring the majority of the so-called black, brown, yellow, and red races to America. They was already fucking here when he got here. He just enslaved them and tricked them and gave them fucked up ass information like, I brought all you motherfuckers over here from Africa, nigga, and now I own you. And all of the motherfuckers he didn't bring over. Some of them motherfuckers he killed their parents and took their children and told them that. And they was like, oh, that's where we come from? Yeah, I dragged you niggas over here. Civilized you motherfuckers. Y'all niggas was running around over there all savage with your nakedness and eating people, and he just gave you a fucked up ass story, and we took it because we was children. What the fuck was we gonna do? You know? So you wanna, you wanna understand these things, like read Nat Turner. Definitely, they don't give him no props. You don't hear a lot about him. I mean, we hear the story about Nat Turner, but I'm gonna tell you, son, they got this book by Kyle Baker called Nat Turner. Get that one. Get that one. That's the book you want on Nat Turner. That's the book that shows you the real shit, how he was really rolling. That's why brothers and sisters who read that book, when they saw what Chris Dorner did, they associated it with it. See, people saying, well, he's no Nat Turner. Yeah? You better go read Nat Turner, son. Get Black Robe and White Justice if you want to understand the 1 to 36. That's definitely a book that relates to the 1 to 36. You feel me? So get that. You feel me? Like if you want to deal with the 1 to 14, get Black, Square, and Compass by Walks. Okay? Walkes Jr. Get him. Joseph. That's his first name is Joseph. So get that. Another good one would be Source of Masonic Symbolism by Alex Horn, if you want to deal with the 1 to 14. I'm just giving you the whole student enrollment order. English C lesson number 1, or the 1 to 14, or the 1 to 40, because if we start trying to go through each degree, we'll be here for fucking ever. So I'm just trying to give you a broad picture, synopsis of what to do the knowledge to, so you'll know what to read and what you want to read. And even if you don't have 120, it don't hurt to go look at those books. Like another good book. See, these books you might have to go online and find them, because a lot of these stores don't have these books. Like, say you in the 1 to 14, you want to read Masonry and its Symbols in the Light of Thinking and Destiny by Harold Walden Percival. But that would be like a introduction. The real book to read from him would be Thinking and Destiny, Percival. Get that. That's some old school, heavy, deep shit that you might not be able to get in a new copy. You might have to try to find from a used bookstore. Because a lot of these, them kind of books like Morals and Dogma, I know he was a devil, but that nigga went to the fucking Kemet, motherfucker, and was, writing shit from the wall, nigga. He was stealing all your shit. Then he put his little devil twist to it. See what I'm saying? He was going to Memnon. This motherfucker was a colonel. And in the world of real excavations and anthropology and stuff like that, where they got these monuments and artifacts and grave sites and shit, they have them in tiers. They let the people, the public, they can look. That they only let them go see this part. Those other rooms they don't get to see. Then they have the part where if you're a student, they might show you more of the place, because they hold those what they call. We would have a class, and the teacher would talk to the president or the person running most of the time they would be a president there, but they would be talking to the director who organizes the museums that they have. So the teacher would go to these people and talk to them and set up a meeting with them so that they could bring their students in either with the tourism or without. Because sometimes it's just a class. They're gonna, okay, look, we close this day. We're gonna have this person come in and they're gonna show you stuff at the level of a class because a teacher is with you. And being a teacher, they get to see more than the civilians get to see. And if you're a professor, you get to go even more places that are inside their vaults and stuff that they get to show you. Right? And then if you like a high official, say you a nice professor, but you know somebody like Obama, you could get in to see other stuff that somebody who didn't know a presidential figure couldn't get in. You feel me? It's like that. That's real shit. So depending on what kind of organization you already in, what kind of connections that organization has, whether you could get in, like say you're a religious person and you got good connections, you could get in and see some deep shit too. You know, if you got good connections, you all hooked up. You like that guy who was friends with Bush, and plus he was acting kind of gay. I don't know if he is gay or he isn't, but he act gay because they say he accused him of gay things. But anyway, I'm just saying that so you'll know who the fuck I'm talking about. That preacher, and he could get into certain places that you couldn't get in to see certain things that have something to do with excavations and anthropology. They got shit that they don't let the public see. High officials in the government or major professors and shit like that can see it because they make them say, listen, you can't tell. You ever see that movie Transformers and they said national security? Well, you could see this, but if you tell anybody what you saw in here, we'll hold you for treason. We'll put your ass in Guantanamo Bay. They don't be bullshitting with their secrets, man. They not like these motherfucking nigger masons and they think they got a fucking secret and they tell the other nigger masons that if you do this could happen to you. But in real life, ain't shit happening. They ain't gonna do shit to you. Them niggas in the Bloods and the Crips is more ruthless with their secrets than the Masons are. Maybe if you up there in the high power white Masons, it won't be Masonry that they'll be killing you for. If you did some shit that they wanted to kill you over, it would be something else. Now back in the days, and the fucking niggas had swords, and the white man was fighting with swords and shit like that, he might have killed you then for divulging what they knew then, but that was because of that circumstances in those days and time. That was the high power shit then. And at one time, the Roman Catholic Church and the French monarchs was trying to kill them niggas straight up and down. So they really had to be secret about learning high science because it was fucking on, motherfucker, in Europe. If you learned that the world was round, that shit could cost you your fucking head, literally. So that's why they had those type of penalties. But those penalties don't apply now unless it's got something to do with something outside of that. That's why revolutionary people who, back in the days who did revolution against the oppressor, always went to the lodges because they knew how to keep a secret. But because when you get ready to do some real deep shit, and it got something to do with getting oppressed people from being oppressed, you better be doing it as an organized group. It better be a fucking secret because the people who are oppressing you don't want you to get unoppressed. What, you thought they wanted you to pull yourself up by your bootstraps for real, motherfucker? Are you fucking kidding me? Come on, son, stop. You killing me over here believing that dumb shit. Nigga, put that shit in that under your, you know what the Moors used to say? Put that shit under your fez. And we say, put that shit under your crown, son. That shit is, keep that shit to the best part preserved for yourself. You feel me? That's what they mean by that. That means we ain't telling nobody this. This was some secret agent mission we on. We having a secret agent meeting. We just ain't saying it. And they'll say, preserve the best part for yourself. That means this meeting is the best part. Don't be fucking telling motherfuckers what's going on in here. We doing what we doing. Whatever need to be revealed to the people who need to get it revealed to, that's different. But motherfucker, trust me, some of these niggas would go and run and tell the master that we getting ready to get off this plantation because Harriet Tubman's coming to see us. They will tell, and the master will be waiting for y'all to get ready to leave so he can kill all of you. So, don't think we ain't on the plantation still. It just looks like we not on it. It's the Matrix, son. It's the Matrix. Watch that movie. That's another thing. There's certain movies people need to watch. Like, definitely watch the Matrix, but you probably might need somebody who is a little conscious that could explain what the Matrix means, because people be watching and they look at the graphics and the fighting and all that shit, and that's cool. They don't get the part with the plug-in. You feel me? So with that, I'm gonna say peace.